Hello there. My name is einav Avni, and I am the person behind this summit, Untangling Natural Cancer Healing, um, yes, online summit that you are about to watch. So first of all, thank you for choosing to be here with us. I know it's a little bit overwhelming, regardless of your stage in life. So whether you are currently with cancer, or you've had it, or this is for someone in your family, or actually even if you're just here to get some ideas about natural healing, I know that these can be overwhelming, but I am very grateful that you are here with us today. This little video is really just an opportunity to say thank you, to introduce myself, to introduce the summit, speak a little bit about what you're going to view and to watch, and just give some hints and tips on how to actually use it. The summit, as you know, has more than 40 speakers. Initially, when I wanted to do the summit, I was thinking about 15, 20 speakers. But as soon as I put the word out there that I want to do the summit, people just came from everywhere and anywhere. And upon consideration, I couldn't say no, because each and every one of the speakers that you're about to watch and listen to have something unique to share. Even if some ideas are similar, for example, that you can help healing your cancer with the right nutrition, it's all really in combination. And I was thinking to myself that if I was in this situation where I was just being diagnosed and I would come across this summit, it is basically it's a wonderful tool to view all the latest research and approaches, and basically it cuts my own time of doing research, and this is why I decided to allow so many speakers to come on. Now, I must say that before I started the summit, before I started putting together the summit, I've been thinking about it a lot. And I realized that whenever I was thinking about cancer, I was experiencing the same thing as most people, which is like, really scared, immediately thinking about the worst case scenario, and also really worried about touching it. Because, of course, there is all this thing with big farmers, and no one really can speak freely because we are worried about what people will, say, or how they will understand it, and so on. So I want to say a few things. First of all, okay, so I guess first of all, we're going to start with a disclaimer that, of course, none of the speakers is here to tell you what to do. No one is saying one healing method is better than the other. No one is saying don't go with conventional methods, and no one is saying only go with alternative ones. All of the speakers and all of the modalities and all of the stories that they're introducing is what they do, what works for them, their own point of view, but no one is here to put any sorts of pressure on you whatsoever. Also, no one here is here to diss any sort of modality. So we are here, it's like an open conversation, and we're welcoming different views and different approaches. Now, like I was saying, for me at the beginning, I was very worried about cancer because no one would, say I can heal cancer. That's no one says that. And as I was starting to do the interviews and doing some research and stuff like that, I realized that actually we have to change the way that we look at cancer, because it's not just the symptoms, it's not just the illness. Cancer is not just a physical thing. And if you believe that it's a physical thing, I believe that your healing journey is going to be a little bit more complicated. But when you're open yourself up to realizing that actually there's a few different reasons why the cancer is there. Of course, we all have cancerous cells. We know that. But how come the cancer has erupted or manifested or came to light when it did? So all of the summit here is about understanding how does cancer come about? What is the message behind it? How to approach it? What are some things that you can consider, might want to do, might want to stop doing? It's all about bringing to light things that are very helpful. Now, of course, they're very helpful for people with cancer, but of course, they're also very helpful for people with other chronic conditions. And that's why the summit is so beneficial for anyone, really. Now, there are 40, probably, I don't know, between 42 and 45, it's still not completely done. There's so many speakers, and it will be overwhelming to just sit there and, binge watching all of them. But what I recommend doing is on the first day, because of course we are stagnating there. Every day we're going to release 8 or 9 speakers. But on the first day, when you just come in for the first 9 speakers, I recommend that you go through the list of all of the speakers and then check in with yourselves. Which is the first, most important talks that I should watch? So learn to already tune into your energy and find out what works for you, what calls you, because each person watching has a different agenda and different reason for being here at the summit. So I do really recommend checking in with yourself and then prioritizing your watching hours. Now, you have a lifetime access to all of these talks. And actually, this is incredible. I have never seen anything like that, because this is, you will see with all of the talks, people are so passionate about helping other people to find their own healing journey. Now, healing is an inside job. We all know that. Even me as an energy healer, I'm not telling you I'm healing you. Not at all. I help facilitate your own healing. So it's very important that you take the things that are being shared here and then make your own decision. Do I want to find out more? Do I want to reach out to the speaker? Do I want to go away and hide under my duvet for a week? You do what is right for you. This summit is not going anywhere. It's here for a lifetime. So you can always watch it. Now, I wrote down some questions because I know that some people have been asking me these questions. So I want to share them. Okay, so why? I'll start with why summit or why can. I'll start with why cancer. So for me, in my own work, I'm a alignment coach and energy healer. And I mainly work with people with chronic conditions. And what I do is I believe that any condition that we're going through is coming from a time when we are basically out of alignment, when we are operating from fears and limitations and not from our innate power and harmony and alignment. So the first thing I want to do with people is to show them where they're operating from fears and then teach them how to get back into this incredible innate power that we all have. And then in the energy healing part, I use the emotion code, body code, and belief code to help release blockages from our energy field. So together, this combination is incredibly powerful and people see incredible results. But what I noticed is that people with chronic conditions, sometimes they don't necessarily make the switch that they are completely buying into getting better. And this is not dissing anyone or anything at all. But when I started working with people with cancer, I realized that for these people, there is more of a thirst to really understand what is going on and then really releasing the things that are holding them back. All of these fears and limitations, they tend to feel that it's the right time. And really, from the testimonials and stuff that I got from people, understanding the emotions and the rage and all of the things that they're actually feeling is really helpful for them to get better. So they can literally see the cancer changing on their body. So this is why I decided to do the summit on cancer and not on chronic conditions. Now, why summit? Is because I believe that the world is now ready for this kind of conversations to be taking place. I believe that the world is ready to see that we really do need to change how we see cancer. Yes, it's super scary. I mean, really super, super scary. But it's not really necessarily the end of the road. And none of us know how long we have here. But wouldn't it be wonderful if this period of cancer journey is also the one that is helping us to make more sense of the world, of really How come I've got this disease or condition right now? And so by asking these questions, we are starting to get connected, not that cancer is physical, but actually that cancer is energetic, which means that we don't necessarily just want to fix it with tablets and surgeries, or pills and surgeries, but actually to understand what is it, where are we operating from fears and out of alignment, and what can we do about it. Now, this is, of course, my words because this is what I do, but other speakers are using their language. So, like you will see, that there's a lot of talk about stress, a lot of talk about inflammations, a lot of talk about different nutritions, different things. And believe me, by purchasing this summit, you have done an incredible thing for yourself, because you will come out of this when you finally finish watching all of the talks. Your mind will be blown. It's so much. I mean, for me, interviewing all of these people, I am like, wow, I want to walk with you. I want to know more. This is really just the tip of the iceberg. So the summit is really here because it feels right to be part of that change. Okay, so again, one other thing that is important to mention is that um, my own brother, my older brother, he passed away. He had melanoma, and he passed away in 2010 after about 7 years battling with his condition, disease, illness, call it what you like. For me, I was told about the cancer when it came back. So my brother was really, he was a wonderful person. And if you knew him, then it's lucky you. But if you didn't know him, his legacy still is out there. And so when I found out about the cancer, and that was about 2007, at that stage, the first thing I did was I went out there and I bought a book, about how to eat differently to help beat cancer. And I remember starting to look, can you beat cancer by changing your diet? And it was so out there at that time. And I remember finding a book that says, yes, I healed my cancer, using these methods of, changing my diet and so on. And again, my mind was blown, because at that time, all I could think of is that cancer meant death. Now, of course, sadly, this is also really what my family's reality has been. But since then, I've learned that there's so much more to cancer than just dying. And I really hope that you open your mind, open your heart, be open to seeing that it's not just what you thought. Now, my brother, if you see my tattoo, that's in his memory. Um, that's my older brother, and this is my younger brother. He died in a car accident a couple of years ago. Um, so my brother, at the beginning of his journey, he had this mindset of basically, I'm ignoring it. I'm not talking about it. I'm just pretending that it's not happening. And actually, at the beginning, I was like, wow, he's amazing. I mean, I always adore him, regardless of anything. I was really, I was like, yes, it makes sense. That's the right approach. Fast forward to all these years, and now I'm doing what I'm doing. Then, of course, I realized that no, you need to talk about it. You need to let the emotions out. You need to express, because otherwise, if you suppress, then you're creating more and more stress in the body. So, of course, we can't change time, but if I knew then what I know now, I'm 100% sure that there would be a different story to this, different end to that story. But my brother, I always said, even straight after he passed away, he is not defined by his death. He is defined by his life, and he had an incredible, sadly short life. He died when he was 42, but he touched people because he lived. He went there for experiences. He tried things. He was so courageous and so kind, and people, even all these years ago, all these years later, people still talk about him, with incredible admiration. And he was so kind, and yeah, if you ever find out, you will be impressed. So his name is Roy Avni, and really this summit is dedicated to him. And yes, but I guess what I wanted to say with that is that we all have to die at some point. This is a known fact, right? We kind of born with this knowledge. But the question is, do we actually live before we die? And even if you get a cancer diagnosis, and even if you are in very late stages that you think there's nothing to be done, connect a little bit with the bigger picture. What is it that you came here to do? What is it that you haven't done yet? Not again from fear and anger and resentment and all of that, because this will just add to where you are right now. But this is like an invitation to maybe pause and start asking yourself these questions. And these questions are fascinating. Okay, so let me just see. Okay, so I spoke about how to watch, and I said really chunk it out, find out what calls you first, watch that, and then move on to watch the others. Now, I just want to make a little point that is not related to that, but you will see me at the beginning of the interviews. You will see I was wearing all of my makeup and being very presentable. And slowly, as we go along, you can see. You can't see it right now, but I'm in a kind of very like a motel type thing. Anyway, we moved house. I didn't know that we were going to move house at the time that I started the summit. And so all of a sudden we moved house and I was doing the summit, and all of a sudden I couldn't find my clothes, my makeup. My shirt has a little bit of paint stains. I apologize for that. But also, as the decoration is going on, I needed to move to this kind of motel thing to get my family out of the house while the decoration refurbishing thing is going on. So I apologize for not being as made up as I wanted to be and as I was at the beginning, but it's all about the messages and the conversations with the speakers and the inspiration and the empowerment that they are giving you. I believe this is everything I wanted to say. I want to again extend my sincere thanks and gratitude for you being here. Please use these conversations to your benefit. I know it can be overwhelming because you're thinking, wow, 42 or 45 speakers, what am I going to do with it? Not in one go. Chunk it out, take your time, find out for yourself with your own energy what it is that you want to watch first. If you want to reach out to any of the speakers, please do. Every speaker is giving a freebie as well so that you can actually interact with them or find out more about them without committing to anything. But the energy of this summit is unbelievable. From the moment I put out the word, I told you already before, people just came out, and everyone is feeling the same thing, that this is something so special and so unique, and it has not been done before because it's raw, because it's not edited, because people here are really here to just help and support and show you that there's more to cancer than just dying. So I really hope that you enjoy this summit and that you benefit from it, and that this has allowed you to open up and see that maybe what you thought about before is not necessarily the case. If you are going through your treatment, whatever it feels right, maybe you want to use some of these practitioners and modalities to complement your conventional therapies, or if you haven't done conventional therapies, then maybe you find more ways of dealing or healing your cancer than you had before. Whatever it is that you do, please also feel free to write back, share your experience, your feelings, how it went, and anything else like that. And thank you so much for being here again. My name is Einav Avni. I work as Untangled Healing, and I am extremely happy that you are here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I need to find how to end the recording. Apologies.